Hey guys, welcome back to the Lawrenceville Bicentennial podcast. This is the podcast where we talk to the people that know Lawrenceville best. I'm your host, Nate McGill from Gwinnett Magazine, and today on the show, we're talking to City Manager Chuck Warbington about all of the amazing updates happening in the City of Lawrenceville. Let's jump right in.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Lawrenceville Bicentennial podcast, the podcast where we talk to the people that know Lawrenceville best. So welcome back, everybody. Today on the show, again, Chuck Warbington here to give us a grand city update. Lawrenceville's changed even more, and I just recently took a drive through and was just surprised by even more things popping up, more construction projects. Right across from Red Barn, you got something going up there. I mean, there's so many things. So thanks for joining us. You can give us the kind of the update, the big world view. What's the year been like, and what are some of the projects you're working on?
All right. Well, thank you for having me back, and love to have the opportunity to share a little bit about what's happening in Lawrenceville. Lawrenceville's a dynamic place.
Yeah.
We have an incredible leadership with mayor and council, a great staff team that is continuing to focus on economic development, and I think you're seeing the fruits of that. So
Yeah.
We'll jump right in with one of the first things that happened over the last couple of weeks is being honored by the Atlanta Regional Commission.
Oh, congratulations.
And you know, when you look back over the positive things and the transformation that's happening in the city, it's nice to a couple years later be honored for that. And so we were awarded one of the top honors with Atlanta Regional Commissions with their the Development Award. They're given out to one of the cities in the Metro Atlanta area, and the City of Lawrenceville won that with SouthLawn.
That's amazing. That's
and
great.
That project obviously started. It started 10 years ago with the planning and the community input.
Yeah.
And then beginning to assemble the property and put it together. So the SouthLawn and also the lawn where we have our all of our concerts and gathering places. Just a really great honor to be honored by the Atlanta Regional Commission.
Yeah, it's a fantastic area. It's a good green space, and like you said, it's an entertainment area, and it's one of the best in the area. I mean, it's not like you have that often in a city that's so wrapped around performing arts, and that you have the opportunity to actually put on outdoor concerts and big events and things like that. And you guys developed that. What was that originally? Because that was that where the gas was? What was there?
Yeah, so there were multiple uses there. One of the items that a lot of people don't know that was there that was removed and cleaned up was a landfill.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right behind where the stage is at and where several of the apartments was at, it was a closed landfill that was operating in the city up until 1950. So our forefathers thought it was a good idea to have a landfill
in
right
the city.
outside of the downtown area. And so that had been closed. There was no hazardous material, but it was a substantial cost, anywhere from $6 to $7 million just to remove that and clean it up, and then obviously bring the dirt back in.
Wow, I did not know that. That's amazing.
That was an area where we kept a lot of our transformers. We had our electric facilities. We had dumpsters out there with our sanitation department. So a lot of people didn't know the landfill was there, but they saw a lot of the storage that was there. There was also a closed, it's where a used car or a car dealership was at, and we actually had the old police facility was in the dealership, and then that transformed into our fleet facility. So we had the city had some really not good uses, let's just call it, in our downtown area that was really hindering the growth and transformation of our downtown. Once we removed a lot of those and some other uses that were aging and would, generally speaking, considered blight, and even some of the older residential properties.
Sure.
Having that now with the residents of SouthLawn, which is probably close to about 1,200 residents, right in your downtown, now walkable to breweries, restaurants, and all the activities in the Art Center as well. Has really taken our downtown to the next level.
Oh yeah, it is definitely next level. So what's going on with the Lawrenceville Art Center? Anything new?
Yeah, so we continue to be successful with our partnership with the Aurora Theatre at the Lawrenceville Art Center. as we move into the holiday season.
Sure.
One of the more popular shows that is been a tradition in our community with the Aurora Theatre is the Christmas Canteen. So,
love it.
I recently purchased our tickets and for a show, and I think that it was almost sold out. So,
wow! Get your tickets, folks.
Get your tickets now because it's a very popular show.
Yeah.
And it continues to be a driver to our businesses in the downtown area with the various events and shows and things that they have there. So we're real excited with the success that we're seeing with the Arts Center in our community.
Yeah, the canteen. I mean, it's a conversation that families have because I think the competition at Christmas really comes from the Alliance in Atlanta and their Christmas Carol, which is, legendary. But, I mean, it is not just me who doesn't want to drive to Atlanta these days. Mm-hmm. And the canteen is it is our tradition. It is our, local show. And if you've never been, you got to go because it is a one-of-a-kind Christmas show, and it's different, and it definitely has that great nostalgic feel to it, mm-hmm. that you want around the holidays. So that's great. So new things with transportation. We'll jump over there. You guys are always improving things. There's always projects to talk about, whether it's over by the north side or it's the sidewalks. I mean, it's just every time you go, it is not just that you guys do a great job with the projects you do. It's really, you don't take forever to do them. Once you see that change happen pretty quick, which is kind of been Lawrenceville's reputation.
Yeah. Well, there's several phases to what we do with transportation. Obviously the first one is making sure that we have a safe intersections and mm-hmm. thoroughfares where we have a limited amount of accidents. That's number one. Number two is to make sure the congestion is taken care of. So we're specifically going into to various intersections, working with Gwinnett County and making sure all the lights are timed and things like that. But then the third one that has been very important to mayor and council and our community and for general is in our downtown area, making sure that it is a safe, walkable area. So we can't leave pedestrians out and bicycle riders in a city, in a community. And so mm-hmm. you're seeing some projects that are specifically tailored to slow cars down in our downtown area. We're upgrading pedestrian walks. We're upgrading pedestrian signals. We're actually adding a tabletop at Clayton Street at Seminary right in front of Uncle Jack's. And that is to slow traffic as it comes into our downtown in the Clayton area down so people feel safe walking and they can even cross the street.
That's great.
That is going to be a pilot project. With the success we're already seeing with it half opened, we look at potentially doing that same type of a project with raising the intersections in our downtown area, Pike and Clayton Street. As you go down Pike, you'll come up on the tabletop, slow down as you go through our downtown area. And on the other side, near McCrae's, at Krogan and Perry Street, raising that intersection so it becomes a tabletop. So that project is coming. We get a lot of comments from people in their downtown area. We need to slow traffic down, make it safe. And then that also then leads to, okay, if we do slow traffic down, that adds to congestion, so we need to have outlets for cars to bypass the downtown. Mm-hmm. One of the things that's been very important to mayor and council is we want traffic in our downtown that comes to the downtown. The traffic that just passes through doesn't really help our businesses. It doesn't help our community.
Sure.
And so we're looking for projects to create that quote unquote bypass so they can move around the downtown if you're just coming from Grayson wanting to go to Buford.
Yeah.
It's very important that we find an easy way to make that happen without it impacting our downtown area.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. Where did the idea for the tabletop come from?
It's, if you look in a lot of universities, Georgia Tech, University of Georgia, you'll see where a lot of these are built where you have a lot of pedestrian movements from classes from different students.
I see.
And so we're trying that at Clayton, and it's already working, and we're already getting positive comments that we've seen traffic slow.
Wow.
Similarly, we want to make sure that the signs, I think we talked about in our last one in the depot area, where we've put up decorative signs with the headache bars for the tractor trailers and the sanitation trucks, to keep them from coming into the downtown area, and that has worked as well.
That's great.
We've had some engineering pieces we had to adjust because of the amount of headaches it was causing to the trucks.
I gotcha.
But we're already seeing a reduction of truck traffic in our downtown, which has been positive to our businesses and the visitors in the downtown area.
Yeah, no, that's great. That is really cool. I kind of mentioned it a little bit before, but next item to talk about really is what's happening across from Red Barn there. That place, first of all, their salmon biscuits very good. Mm-hmm. They have those big cat head biscuits. And it's kind of an old school vibe. It's like old school barbecue. It's old school. And if you're from around here, they've been here for so long. I mean, people would just stop there before they went to high school 20 something years ago. I mean, they've been around for a bit. And across the street, we got a 55 and up community. So you're going to have to let Red Barn know that because of their food style, they're going to have to also expand once this thing comes in. Let's talk about that project.
Yeah. So, the Red Barn, as I refer to it as well, as, the Little Barn.
Yeah. Little Barn.
My favorite biscuit is a country ham biscuit. So,
right.
There's very few places in Gwinnett County these days you can get a country ham biscuit.
That's right. Yeah.
Of that size.
That's good.
And so I recommend that as well. But across the street, as you mentioned, is a 55 and up luxury apartment. It's coming out of the ground. It's going to be 3 buildings. That is replacing several properties that were used as junkyards, tractor trailer maintenance. It was really a problem for our community right at the entrance of our downtown area.
Right.
This project was designed with the understanding that this is one of the first projects you'll see as you head into the downtown area along State Route 20. And so with it being half built today, you can already see the impact it's going to have. There is not a week that goes by that I'm not being asked about, okay, when is it going to start leasing? We want to be there. It basically is right across the street from the Lawrenceville Arts Center. So you'll be living in an area that you can go to the Performing Arts Center, you can go to the restaurants in the downtown area. Also, we are adding a multi-use trail. We worked with the CSX Railroad and purchased the spur line, which is actually right beside the project.
Wow.
And that multi-use trail will tie that project as well as the downtown into Rose Jordan Park, and you will be able to walk right into the trail system at Rose Jordan Park.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
that's
so
great.
That'll be out to bid here the first of next year. But I'm very thankful for CSX Railroad for working with us. It took us 3 years to purchase it, but it was an abandoned spur line that actually at one time went all the way to the area where SouthLawn is at one time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That whole area had a rail line at one point. This is one of the last pieces that now is going to be turned into a pedestrian trail.
Yeah.
That's really going to open up Rose Jordan Park.
I guess those rail lines were for early manufacturing in the area and things like that, because you had some manufacturing over there in that side of town. That side of Lawrenceville. I mean, how far out does the city limits go from there? Because you've got kind of like that whole corridor there. That are we going to see more development that way?
I think so. I think it really the development started in that area because of a land acquisition deal we did with Peach State Credit Union.
Okay, yeah.
If you recall, Peach State Credit Union is where the new Arts Center is at today.
That's right.
When we had these discussions with Peach State at the time, they did not want to leave downtown area. And so the city worked very hard to find them a place. And of course, they're just 1 or 2 blocks from that area. and that was an old industrial propane facility.
I see, yeah.
It had some blighted buildings on the property. They purchased it, and now it's just a beautiful building. And so it's right across the street from the project we just talked about, 55 and up.
Yeah.
And so to have a bank go into that area, a credit union go into that area, really showed the community that this is the new area that's beginning to happen just outside the downtown area.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's great. Man, people love those 55 and up communities. Members of my family, they get in there and they talk about it. They just love it because it's just everybody being around from the same generation. They just have so much fun. Makes a lot of sense. All right. So what else we got?
Yeah, so I want to go back to our art discussion that we had a little bit on because we just finished up a mural on Jackson Street.
Right. Yes. I saw that.
And the community was engaged in that. We had a renowned artist that spent about 300 hours on this particular mural that went on the wall along Jackson Street. And the interesting thing about this particular mural was the community painted the mural. It was a paint by numbers.
Oh yeah, great.
So the artist did the baseline, created the space, and then over a period of several weeks, we had citizens and business owners and individuals sign up to go and paint a portion of that wall over several weeks. Huge success. Just again, we get a lot of comments. When's our next paint by numbers mural?
Yeah.
And so we're working on that. We are creating another mural with a partnership with McCrae's on their large wall that faces Croghan Street. And it's going to be a beautiful mural that's going to add to the downtown area, kind of building off of It's a Beautiful Day in the City of Lawrenceville.
Oh, great.
So it'll be unveiled to the community very, very soon. That is because of the height of this mural and the traffic along Croghan. It was not one that we could do from a community standpoint. Mm-hmm. So the artist that was chosen will start on that sometime January, February. And Scott McCrae with McCrae's has just been very exciting to work with. He's more excited, I think, than we are to be with that. So we're very excited.
That's good. Well, you guys, you're still growing, new businesses always coming into the square, new places to eat. You tried any place good lately?
Yeah, the Village Burger is one of my favorites for a quick lunch.
Oh, great! Yeah.
And the McCrae's and local are always some of my staples. Scrumptious is another new restaurant here in the last year that's opened up and has had a great success as well. So.
Good deal. Well, Chuck, thanks for joining us today. Anything else? What other kind of updates? Do you have anything else?
Yeah, the last thing I would mention is we're beginning to see a kind of a new trend in the city with some infill projects where we have some vacant lots throughout the downtown area. They're being jerked up, and you're seeing some larger homes. So we've had 3 or 4 that have been under construction the past year. Those are ranging from $900,000 to $1 million downtown Lawrenceville. So
wow.
Just bringing a new type of living environment into our community. And then this is also in addition to the affordable projects that we have happening throughout the city as well. So
sure, yeah, we've talked about those on the show before.
Yeah, we're seeing both ends where Lawrenceville is a place that you can find affordable housing, and at the same time, if you want to have a more expensive home, you can have that as well.
Yeah,
and so,
something for everybody,
correct.
For the doctors, the lawyers, all across the board. So. Well, that's awesome. I mean, Lawrenceville's always booming, always growing, and appreciate you just taking the time, come in, give us the update of what's going on in the city. Guys, if you have any questions, you can always go to the city's website and check out updates there. And until next time, you guys have a good one.